Welcome back to our YouTube channel. Have you ever wondered about the untold stories of Adam and Eve's daughters? While the Bible mentions the more famous sons like Cain, Abel, and Seth, it leaves much about their daughters to ancient texts and traditions. In this video, we will dive into these lesser-known stories, exploring the intriguing accounts from sources like the Book of Jubilees and the Cave of Treasures. Join me as we uncover the names, lives, and significant roles of Adam and Eve's daughters, a topic that is rarely discussed but immensely fascinating. Stay with us until the end to learn about the vital contributions of these early figures in human history and their impact on the lineage of humanity. Don't forget to like, comment, and suggest other biblical characters or stories you'd like to see explored. Let's embark on this enlightening journey together. Have you ever wondered about the untold? When mentioning the descendants of Adam and Eve, most people first think of the story of Cain and Abel. However, many overlook the other biblical accounts that describe the other sons and daughters of Adam and Eve. In this video, I will focus specifically on the daughters of Adam and Eve. Who were these daughters and how many of them were there? Using sources such as the Book of Jubilees, the Holy Bible, and ancient traditions, I will explore and discuss the history of these daughters of Adam and Eve. If this topic interests you, don't hesitate to give it a like and leave a comment. Follow along with me for additional content on the untold story of Adam and Eve's daughters, a topic rarely discussed and often overlooked by theologians, biblical scholars, and those curious about sacred script. Typically, people read the Bible and focus on the well-known sons of Adam and Eve, Cain, the firstborn, and Abel, the second. However, they often forget that Adam and Eve had many daughters as well. Genesis 5:4-5 reveals intriguing information about the sons and daughters of Adam, mentioning that after bearing Seth, Adam lived for 800 years, during which he fathered many sons and daughters, living a total of 930 years until his death. The Bible does not provide the names of Adam and Eve's daughters, but other ancient Jewish traditions specify some of their names. Based on the Book of Jubilees, I will mention the names of some of Adam and Eve's daughters according to these ancient traditions, which offer insights into these less explored figures. For those unfamiliar, the Book of Jubilees, also known as the Little Genesis, is part of the Old Testament Apocrypha. It narrates the creation of the world, the formation of Adam and Eve after the fall, and tells stories of various Old Testament characters, primarily from the Book of Genesis. While it is an ancient text, the oldest manuscript we have access to dates back to approximately 700 BCE, though this manuscript is a copy of an even older work. Some scholars associate the Book of Jubilees with the Book of Chronicles, suggesting that the scribe Ezra may have written the text. However, the Book of Jubilees claims that its true author was Moses, who received a revelation from an angel on Mount Horeb. The Bible mentions that Moses spent 40 days and 40 nights on Mount Horeb, without eating or drinking water in the presence of God, so it is possible that Moses was the actual author. The Book of Jubilees enjoys significant presence in Israelite culture, with several copies distributed among the people. Additionally, it mentions another mysterious apocryphal book, the Book of Enoch, which was widely known to early Christians and even formed part of the biblical canon used by them. This underscores the importance of not dismissing the Book of Jubilees, as it contains events that align with the stories of the Bible. Now, returning to Adam and Eve, according to various ancient Semitic Abrahamic traditions, the first daughter of Adam and Eve was named Avan. Avan, in Phoenician Hebrew, means potency or vice. She was the wife and sister of Cain, and bore children to him, one of whom was named Enoch. The construction of a city named after his son is mentioned in the Bible as one of Cain's accomplishments after his banishment due to the murder of Abel. The city was called Enoch in honor of his son. Avan is mentioned in the Book of Jubilees and other Abrahamic texts, though in some texts such as the Cave of Treasures, she is called Kelima. Therefore, Kelima was the wife of Cain and the first daughter of Adam and Eve according to these traditions. According to several ancient Semitic traditions, the second daughter of Adam and Eve was Azura. Azura was the wife of Seth, the third son of Adam and Eve, born after the death of Abel. The name Seth in Hebrew may be associated with the idea of compensation or substitution, relevant because after Abel's murder, Seth is considered by Adam and Eve as a substitute for divine compensation for the loss of Abel. Seth is seen as a righteous and pious descendant, and his lineage, as suggested by the biblical narrative, continued to worship God. Seth's genealogy is significant in the Bible as it leads to Noah, who played a crucial role in the flood story and the survival of humanity. The Book of Jubilees presents an interesting detail by stating that Azurah was initially Abel's wife and became a widow after his death. After Seth came of age, he married Azurah, and from their union, the lineage of Seth descended. Azurah was born in the 6th week of the 4th Jubilee and married her brother Seth in the 5th week of the 5th Jubilee. In the 4th year of the 6th week, she gave birth to a son named Enos. Enos is one of Seth and Azurah's sons, known for his pious descent and devotion to the worship of God. The main reference to Enos in the Bible is in Genesis 5:6-11, which describes his genealogy. The main characteristic attributed to Enos is his practice of prayer, and the indication of the name of God, as Genesis 4:26 states, "At that time, people began to call on the name of the Lord." This passage suggests that Enos played an important role in promoting worship and devotion to God in his time. According to the ancient Book of Jubilees and Semitic Jewish tradition, Cain married his sister Abel, giving rise to the lineage of Cain. Seth married his sister Azurah, giving rise to the lineage of Seth. You might wonder how many sons and daughters Adam and Eve had. The biblical text indicates they had many sons and daughters, especially considering Adam lived for over 800 years. Adam and Eve were the most fertile humans of their time, with Eve considered extremely fertile and Adam also very fertile. Therefore, according to these ancient traditions, they had hundreds of sons and daughters. In modern times, according to the Guinness World Records, the woman with the highest number of children in human history was Valentina Vassiliev, who reportedly had 69 surviving children. While there are reports of women with 50 or even 60 children, Valentina Vassiliev remains the recognized record holder. Eve, surpassing all these women in fertility, is considered the most fertile woman in the history of humanity, having potentially hundreds of sons and daughters. In Genesis 6:1, it is mentioned that as the descendants of Adam multiplied on the earth, many beautiful daughters were born. Both the sons and daughters of Adam and Eve had their own ethnic descent, as Adam and Eve were originally mixed race, contributing to the ethnic diversity of humanity. The study of mitochondrial DNA, known as mitochondrial Eve, reinforces this idea, indicating that all of humanity shares a common ancestry despite the ethnic and racial diversity seen today. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the often overlooked stories of Adam and Eve's daughters. We've delved into ancient texts and traditions to bring their histories to light, revealing the vital roles they played in the early human narrative. If you found this exploration fascinating, don't forget to give it a like and leave your comments below. Your engagement and suggestions for future topics are always welcome. Let's continue to uncover the rich tapestry of our shared human history together. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring the incredible stories within our sacred scriptures. See you soon.